Last year, when Mandalorian Season 2 came out, we were all super excited that we now have gotten to Season 2 of one of the best Star Wars series that we've gotten in the last 10 years, I want to say, ever since Clone Wars ended. And then, when we saw the post-credit scene for the Mandalorian, we then got the announcement of something called the Book of Boba Fett. But nobody knew if this was a rebranding of Season 3, if they were going to call it the Book of Boba Fett, or if it was a whole other series, or if it was even a book because it's called the Book of Boba Fett. But afterwards, we got an official confirmation that this is a new series. And on September 29th, the Book of Boba Fett has officially gotten a release date, and it's gotten some more details and stuff that has just been revealed. So this is brand new from September 29th, one day ago. So in this video, I'm going to basically do breaking down everything that we know, basically what we have gotten so far in this new article, the release date, and then eventually I will make it everything you need to know before watching the Book of Boba Fett, but that will come later. So stick around for this entire video so you can see that. So first, the title, The Book of Boba Fett, will premiere December 29th on Disney+. Now, this article is on StarWars.com. I will leave a link in the description below if you want to see this for yourself. And now we're going to I'm going to read this, and I'm going to give you basically my initial reaction to what all this could be, and maybe we're even going to get some plot details. And I just want to say before we start this, I have not read this yet already, so all of this is new to me. So Disney Plus announced today that The Book of Boba Fett, the new film series, teased in a surprise end credit scene following the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, will premiere on Wednesday, December 29th, exclusively on the streaming service Disney Plus. Also debuted the key art for the series, which you can see for yourself below. So December 29th, if you do not know, sadly, if you do not know, this would be very sad, is 5 days after Christmas. 4 days, oh my god, 4 days after Christmas. If you do not know that, then that's pretty sad. But that means that we were not expecting anything for December 2021 in the Star Wars universe besides this, but there are a couple other Marvel stuff, like Hawkeye is supposed to premiere at the beginning of December, late November. So if I had to take you a guess, I'd say once What If is finished, we're going to get Miss Marvel or something. I don't know what these series are even. I can't keep track of how many series Marvel is doing. Then we will get Hawkeye, and then this will be the last series of the year, which will probably, if I had to guess, this would be 6 to 8 episodes is what I'd say. That means that it would probably end around sometime between mid-January, which would then lead to the release of The Mandalorian Season 3. Then, sometime soon, we finally get Andor and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I'm super excited for. Like, the return of Ewan McGregor, which Obi-Wan was definitely the best Obi-Wan in my opinion. So it's just really exciting to see him back. But that is for another video. So I'm just going to take a little look at the key art over here. So first, let me just zoom out as a whole. So Star Wars, The Book of Boba Fett. So as you can see, this takes a bit of, the logo takes a bit of, it's taken from the Clone Wars symbol. Because as you can see, if you remember in the Clone Wars, at the top of the Clone Wars symbol, it said Star Wars. At the bottom, it said Star. It said Star at the top, Wars at the bottom, and then it said the Clone Wars in the middle. So that's basically what it's taking. Star Wars at the top, then you get the name of the series, and then that's it. Then Disney Plus at the bottom, which is in black and white, not in the signature blue logo. And then original series streaming December 29th. So right here, if we just take a look at Boba Fett right here. So he appears to be on the throne in Jabba's palace, which is not the same gun that he had in Return of the Jedi, if you're wondering. He got a new gun in The Mandalorian Season 2, and his armor looks pretty much the same, except now it is all scratched up, and it is a darker shade of green. So it looks like that this photo might be hinting that Boba Fett is going to get into a bit of like, maybe it's going to tell stories from his past, but right now, maybe he's going to get into a fight, because it appears that, if you remember in Season 2, he painted his armor after it was all scratched up in the Sarlacc's stomach. So now, for it to get all scratched up this quickly, must mean he isn't just walking around the house and, like, he bumps into it and then, oh my god, there's a dent. And then, well, speaking of dents, there is also his signature dent on the top of his head, which in the Star Wars Legends he got when Bane shot him, Cat Bane, which you could be seeing in Bad Batch Season 2. And then I originally thought it was actually because apparently this is not the same helmet that Jango Fett wore. The rest of his armor is the same armor that Jango Fett wore, just he modified it. But the helmet, apparently it's a different helmet. The only thing that's kind of weird is that Jango Fett's helmet is it has a dent in like around the exact same spot as his helmet. So that might be very ironic, but I don't know. And actually, if you want to take a bit of history into the dent on Boba Fett's helmet, the dent was actually originally when they were making the helmet, there was a bubble there, and then it popped, and then that's why there was a dent in there, and now it's his signature dent. And then Jango Fett's dent in his helmet only came when he bumped his head on Slave One on Slave One's door, as a reference to how the Stormtrooper bumped his head in The New Hope. So there seems that the Fett family seems to be denting their helmets all the time, but this could hint that he could get into a fight because everything is all scratched up. The Book of Boba Fett is a thrilling Star Wars adventure. Finds legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett and the mercenary Fennec Shand navigating the galaxy's underworld. They return to the sands of Tatooine to share their claim on the territory ruled by Jabba the Hutt and his crime syndicate. The Book of Boba Fett stars Tamir Morrison and Ming-Na Wen. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Robert Rodriguez, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson are the executive producers. Karen Glitchris, sorry, I'm terrible at names. Carrie Beck serves as co-executive producers, with John Bartnicki producing and John Hapkins as co-producer. Sorry, I'm pretty bad at names. So if we just take a look at this first paragraph right here, finds legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett and the mercenary Fennec Shand navigating the galaxy's underworld. So if I were to take a guess, then maybe this is not going to be stories from the past, because if it were stories from the past, then Fennec Shand and Boba Fett, as far as we know, have only met up they seem to have just met each other in The Mandalorian Season 2. Maybe they've met each other in the Bad Batch, because it's not like you find a random stranger who's dead on the sands of Tatooine and say, oh, hey, I've heard of this person before on the internet. Why don't I just go throw some cybernetic stuff inside, and now she's going to be in my debt. You don't just find a random person like that and automatically, like, help them. Well, I mean, you should, but I don't know about the Star Wars universe here. The thing is that Fennec Shand was actually a pretty well-known bounty hunter, as we know from the Bad Batch. So it could be that Boba Fett has heard of her and realized how much of an asset she could be, and then inspected her and realized that I can save her with whatever cybernetic technology he got that from. You know, eBay or something. I don't know. eBay, Amazon, Jeff Bezos just selling him that stuff. So then I guess it would be because she is a great sniper and stuff. But, you know, they could have had a backstory that we will now learn about in this. But if I had to take a big guess into what this series is going to be about, I would have to say that it's going to be the present time, and now it's going to be their what's going on now, and maybe because ever since when Jabba died, basically there were so many planets controlled by the Hutts, as we know, Tatooine, Nal Hutta, and so many others that were controlled by the Hutts. So when Jabba died and all the other Hutts had passed away from age, I'm assuming, then now Zero's the only Hutt that's still alive, is what I want to say. Zero and Rada. So if I had to take a guess, I really hope we see Rada, because Rada was a great character in the Clone Wars movie, which not many people liked. And it would be great to see his return, also Zero, in live action, because we haven't really seen those Hutts in live action, so it would be amazing to see those Hutts. And now we are probably going to get some connections to The Mandalorian Season 2, and maybe even connection to The Mandalorian Season 3. So now I'm just going to go to the cast for a couple seconds. So Tamir Morrison and Ming-Na Wen, we basically knew that. Ming-Na Wen, you know, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then she voiced Fennec Shand in The Bad Batch and in Mandalorian Season 2, and then we knew she was returning for this. And Tamir Morrison has voiced Jango Fett, and then he did the dub voice for Boba Fett in the special edition of the original trilogy, and then he also obviously did his Boba Fett in The Mandalorian Season 2. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, they're famous. I'm sure you know them. If you're a fan of Star Wars, then you have to know them. They're basically the directors. Robert Rodriguez did episode The Tragedy in The Mandalorian. Kathleen Kennedy is the president of Lucasfilm, and she is basically the executive producer. Colin Wilson, I've never heard of him. You're probably going to laugh at me in the comments, but never heard of him. And then all the other people are just the co-executive producers, and then John Baccarani producing, and John Hapkins as co-director. Sorry, producer. So that is basically everything that we've gotten from this article right now. That's basically everything that we've gotten on December 29th, which is when it's going to be releasing, and this was actually announced on September 29th, so it's a bit of it's a bit ironic that it's going to come out on December 29th. They timed that very carefully. They announced this news on September 29th, which is now coming out on December 29th. So if I had to guess, I'd say that we're probably going to get a trailer in about a month. I'd say it's a bit early because we got a release date really early for this. If you remember, for The Mandalorian, we got a release date around September with a release date for maybe it was August. Sorry, we got a release date in August with a release date of October 30th. So we're just gonna round that to November. So that's about 2 months. Yes, well, I guess 3. If we're saying November, so yeah, 3 months. So then, since we're getting this, since it's coming December 29th, and we have the release dates in September 30th, so you can round that to October. I'm doing a little bit of rounding here. Sorry if I hurt your brain. So that's 3 months exactly. So that means that if I had to say, for The Mandalorian, we got a trailer 1 month after we got the release date. So for this, I bet you were going to get a trailer 1 month after we get this. So expect a trailer late October to early November, around the time that the Miss Marvel or whatever is probably going to finish. So that, like I said, this is everything that we've got right now for the Book of Boba Fett, and this actually looks like it's going to be a really cool series. It might not get as much hype as The Mandalorian, but Boba Fett is definitely an iconic character, so this will definitely get a lot of Boba Fett fans attached to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and bye.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
So be it, Jedi.